You might see a little message block on your screen. That'll go away in just a moment. We're on the record calling people of the state of Michigan versus Hunter Ian McMillan, McMillon. Today is Sunday, January 7, 2024. This is a weekend remote arraignment. I am Magistrate Stephanie Godsey with the 55th District Court. Mr. Hunter McMillan appears before our court via video conference from the Ingham County Jail. We also have Ms. Smith from the Public Defender's Office. Ms. Smith, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Bethany Smith from the Ingham County Public Defender's Office, and I'm here this morning on behalf of Mr. McMillan for purposes of his arraignment.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Mr. McMillan, the court has before it a one-count misdemeanor criminal complaint against you. That complaint alleges that on or about January 6th, 2024, at a location described as 214 South Rosemary Street in Lansing Township, Ingham County, and State of Michigan, that the defendant did, contrary to law in count 1, make an assault or assault and battery upon Patrick Tyndale and or Heather McMillan. Contrary to Michigan law, this is a misdemeanor offense punishable by up to 93 days in the county jail and or $500 fine. Mr. McMillan, do you understand the charge as it's been read to you, as well as the maximum possible penalties?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very well. You have many rights in this case. You have the right to have an attorney present with you at each and every court appearance, as well as if you are questioned by police. And Ms. Smith, Mr. McMillan is applying for your office. Is that correct?
He is, that's correct.
Okay, and I've made that note in the court file. You have other rights, Mr. McMillan. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you state verbally or place in writing may be used against you in a court of law. You are presumed to be innocent of this offense unless and until you are proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Also, you have the right to demand a jury trial. Ms. Smith, a plea for arraignment purposes?
We'd like to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Not guilty is entered. Mr. McMillan, you are scheduled to come to the 55th District Court in person for a pre-trial conference that is scheduled on Tuesday, January 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. Again, pre-trial Tuesday, 1/2/3 of 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Upon being released from custody, you're going to receive some paperwork from the sheriff's deputies at the jail. Within that paperwork, you will find your notice to appear. So you'll have that notice in writing with the date and time of your next court date. Any questions there?
No, ma'am.
All right, then.
Magistrate, could I ask what judge it's in front of?
I have no idea because it won't be assigned until tomorrow.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yep, I can only do so much with no court staff. Okay. Ms. Smith on bond.
Magistrate, in talking with Mr. McMillan, it doesn't appear that he has anything in his past that would show that he's a danger to society, or that he would flee. He's been in the area his whole life. He's got a lot of family and friends here in the Lansing area. He says there was just one occasion where he didn't appear for court when he wasn't supposed to be there. There was just some sort of a mix-up. So I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be a great candidate for a personal recognizance bond. So we would request that.
Thank you. All right, Mr. McMillan, we're going to go over some of your bond conditions. These are basically the rules that you must follow to remain out of jail, okay? We're going to go over some, but not all of them. You're going to also receive a document called a pre-trial release order when you're released from the jail. That's going to list all your bond conditions. Make sure you review that document very carefully. Some of the conditions are, starting now and until further order of our court, you are not to purchase, possess, or consume any alcohol, no illegal or illicit controlled substances, no marijuana. You're also going to be placed on specialty court bond conditions. basically what's going to happen there is that one of our staff, one of our probation officers is going to call you. That's probably going to be tomorrow, but by no later than Tuesday. So make sure you're watching your phone. Is your cell phone set up with voicemail?
Yeah.
Okay. So just make sure you're paying attention to your phone. If you have any missed calls, make sure you're checking your voicemail because it's going to be very important for you to speak with one of our probation officers tomorrow, which is Monday, but by no later than Tuesday. They're going to go over these conditions with you. Also, you are not to purchase or possess any dangerous weapons, especially no firearms and no ammunition until further order of our court. Also, you are not to assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, stalk, or threaten Patrick Tyndale or Heather McMillan. And starting now and until further order of the court, you're to have no contact with either of those persons, not direct or indirect. So for now, no phone calls, no jail phone calls, not in person, in writing, no social media texting or emailing. You're also prohibited from trying to get a message to either one of those individuals through somebody else. That's in direct contact. I am required by law to inform you if you are found to have violated the court's no contact order, you'll be immediately rearrested by the first police officer who finds you. It's substitute for an arrest warrant. Thereafter, you could be charged with contempt of court, a separate criminal offense. The court understands that the complaining witnesses in this case include your stepfather and your mom. And I also understand that you still live with your mom. So, Ms. Smith, the court is hopeful that Mr. McMillan might be able to reach another family member to help kind of stabilize his housing situation, because given the allegations, the court must order that Mr. McMillan not go to 214 South Rosemary Street until further order of the court. So you can't go home, Mr. McMillan. The court is going to authorize you to go back there one time so you can get personal property to enable you to live elsewhere. But when you go back to your house that one time, you have to have a police officer physically present with you from the time that you get there until the time that you leave. Okay? So when you get out of the jail and you're looking to go back to the Rosemary residence, you should reach out to the Lansing Township Police Department, and hopefully they'll be able to match up with your schedule and get there, when you get there. But the bottom line is you can't go there until there's an officer there with you. Okay?
You said to call, just let me make sure.
Pardon me?
You said to call who?
The Lansing Township Police Department. They're located. I mean, any police officer can go there with you, but Lansing Township is basically, they cover the jurisdiction that covers your home. Their police department is on Michigan Avenue. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And then finally, you must update the 55th District Court with the address where you're going to be residing. You got to let us know that. And preferably by tomorrow, which is Monday, our court will be open starting at 8 a.m. You can just call our court and say, hey, this is my name. This is my address. I was told to update my address. And then they'll note that in your file. Okay.
To call the Lansing Police Department about that?
Pardon me?
To call the police about that, or somebody else?
Your address?
Yes.
Our court. Our court is the 55th District Court. And I should also tell you that the jail that you're in right now is attached. It's in the same building as our courthouse in Mason, Michigan. The paperwork you're going to get will have our court's contact information. So you can call our court tomorrow once you know where you're going to be staying. Okay, that's just for now. It's while the case is pending. But you'll just need to let us know that. Okay. The court notes that Mr. McMillan has no prior criminal history, and the court is satisfied that the bond conditions being ordered this morning should go a long way toward protection of public, and specifically protection of the complaining witnesses in this case. A PR bond is therefore appropriate. It's going to be a $1,500 personal recognizance bond. The personal recognizance part, what that means, Mr. McMillan, is that you don't have to post any money to be released from the jail today. But it is your promise to come to court as ordered for your court appearances and to make sure that you're following the rules of your release, your bond conditions. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Anything additional, Ms. Smith?
Oh, nothing. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right. So, Mr. McMillan, you're all set with the court. You can walk right out of that room. You can let the deputies know that you got a PR bond.